Sometimes life doesn't warn you before it falls apart. Sometimes it takes only one message, one vibration of a phone, 1 second of curiosity to destroy the world you've spent years building. Sometimes the truth doesn't break you gently. Sometimes it shatters you in one brutal heartbeat. This is the story of Emma, a girl who trusted too deeply and paid the price in silence. The apartment was quiet, that kind of quiet that feels warm, familiar. The soft glow from the lamp painted the room golden, and the movie's end credits hummed in the background. Daniel had fallen asleep on the couch, his head tilted slightly, a blanket sliding off his shoulder. Emma smiled, softly, lovingly, the type of smile that only comes when someone feels safe with you. She reached for his phone just to set an alarm for him. He had an important meeting early morning, and she always made sure he woke up on time. It was one of her little acts of love. Her fingers barely brushed the screen when the phone lit up. A message from a name she had never seen. At first, she didn't think much of it. Maybe a coworker, a friend. But her breath caught when her eyes scanned the preview. "I missed last night. When are we meeting again?" Her hand froze. The phone felt suddenly heavier, as if it carried the weight of a truth she wasn't ready to hold. She tapped the message, her heart pounding, pain rising before understanding did. The chat opened, and time stopped. There were pictures, late-night messages, plans, secrets, words filled with affection that weren't meant for her. Daniel slept peacefully beside her, unaware that every lie he had spoken was unraveling in her trembling hands. Emma didn't cry right away. Sometimes shock is its own kind of silence. But inside her chest, an earthquake had just begun. Emma scrolled, slowly, painfully, through each message, each confession wrapped in the sweetness he once reserved only for her. He told this woman she made him feel alive. He planned weekends that he claimed he was too busy to spend with Emma. He sent her photos from the very kitchen where Emma cooked his favorite meals. With every message, something inside Emma shattered. She looked at Daniel, sleeping soundly, the man she believed she knew, the man she trusted more than anyone, the man who held her through every heartbreak except the one he caused himself. How do you look at someone and suddenly see a stranger? Her breath hitched as she found messages from nights he had told her he was working late. Messages sent while Emma waited up, worried, texting him, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?" But he wasn't at work. He was with her. Emma stared at the words until they blurred into a storm of betrayal. She put a hand over her chest, because sometimes your heart hurts so much you have to remind it to keep beating. And still, Daniel slept peacefully. The unfairness of it nearly made her gasp. He had no idea that in the span of those minutes, Emma had lost him, lost their future, lost the version of herself that trusted him so completely. The woman she had been just 15 minutes ago was gone. But pain rarely stands alone. It brings memories with it. Sharp, soft, bittersweet memories that make the heartbreak feel even heavier. Emma remembered the day she met Daniel. It was in a small bookstore downtown, the kind with old wooden floors and dust that sparkled in the sunlight. She was searching through the poetry section when a book slipped from the shelf above. Daniel caught it before it hit her head. He laughed, that warm, easy laugh that made strangers feel like old friends. "Careful," he had said. "I think this place has a crush on you. It's throwing books just to get your attention." Emma laughed too, the kind of laugh she hadn't heard from herself in years. They talked for hours. Coffee turned into dinner, dinner turned into a walk, and somewhere between conversations and streetlights, Emma felt something she hadn't felt before. Safe. Seen. Chosen. He used to look at her like she was the best thing that had ever happened to him. He promised her honesty. He promised her respect. He promised he wasn't like the others. And she believed him. That was the part that hurt now. Not the lies themselves, but the fact that she never suspected she needed to protect herself from him. Emma blinked, returning to the present as another message popped up. It felt like a slap from reality. Her fingers shook. Her breathing stuttered. She wiped her face, realizing tears had begun to fall without her noticing. She set the phone down for a moment, but then picked it up again, as if hoping the messages would magically disappear. But betrayal doesn't disappear. It only deepens the more you look at it. She read the woman's messages, then Daniel's replies, each word cutting deeper than the last. Emma felt dizzy, a physical ache spreading through her chest. Her mind replayed moments when she had touched his face, kissed his forehead, held his hand with complete trust. Now, every memory felt poisoned. She looked at Daniel, still sleeping, still peaceful. And she wondered, how long had she been loving someone who had already left her in his heart? She wanted to scream. She wanted to wake him. She wanted answers, desperately, painfully. But the truth was already there. There were no explanations that could make this hurt less. Emma realized something heartbreaking. She wasn't losing Daniel. She was realizing he had never really been hers. Daniel stirred. His eyes blinked open. At first, he smiled, the same soft smile he always gave her. Then he saw the phone in her hand, and the smile vanished. His face shifted from confusion to realization to fear. "Emma, what are you doing with my phone?" His voice cracked, just enough to confirm everything she needed to know. She didn't yell, she didn't cry, she didn't throw the phone. She just held it out to him, her hand trembling only once. "Read your messages," she whispered. Daniel swallowed hard. "Emma, I can explain." But she shook her head gently, silencing him with a pain deeper than anger. "You already explained," she said softly. "Just not to me." Daniel stepped forward. "Please, listen. It didn't mean anything. I swear. I was confused. It was a mistake." Emma's voice broke, not loud, but fragile. "A mistake doesn't last for weeks, Daniel." His shoulders dropped, his breath stilled. He knew the truth had finally caught up to him. He reached for her. She stepped back. Some distances can't be crossed anymore. Emma picked up her bag, slowly, deliberately, the same way a person gathers the last pieces of themselves before they leave for good. Daniel panicked. He moved closer, his voice trembling. "Emma, please, don't go. I'll fix it. I'll block her. I'll delete everything. I'll do anything." She turned to him with eyes full of tears, but also strength. "You can't fix something you never protected," she said quietly. He tried holding her arm. She gently pulled away. "Don't make this harder," she whispered. "I've already lost enough tonight." She walked to the door, the same door she once entered with love, trust, and hope. But she wasn't that girl anymore. "Emma, please," Daniel begged, voice cracking. "Don't leave. I love you." She paused, just for a moment, because love had been her home. But homes can burn. "You loved me," she said, "but not enough." And with that, she stepped out. Quietly, softly, completely. The door clicked shut, and the sound echoed more painfully than any scream ever could. Days passed. Slowly, painfully, but they passed. Emma found herself sitting by the river, the place she always went when life felt too heavy to carry alone. The water moved gently, sparkling under the fading sun. She watched the waves, letting their calm steady the storm inside her. She no longer checked her phone. She no longer replayed the messages. She no longer wondered what she did wrong. Because healing doesn't come from revisiting wounds. It comes from letting them close. Emma placed a hand over her heart, the same heart that had been shattered, and whispered to herself, soft but certain, "One day, I'll look back and thank myself for walking away." She didn't feel strong every day. She didn't feel healed yet, but she felt something new, something small, something important. A beginning, the kind that rises right after a world collapses. Sometimes heartbreak breaks you open so life can rebuild you into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who chooses love that doesn't hide in shadows. And that day by the river, Emma took her first breath as that woman.